The Bayonne Planning Board approved a 10-story, mixed-use redevelopment project near 46th Street and Broadway last night, despite some concerns from residents. The City Council approved the project back in August, to the chagrin of several residents on hand, though not everyone was against the project. The new building is part of what is commonly referred to as Resnick's redevelopment plan, since it will be built where Resnick's hardware store operated for years. Michael Maselli, the attorney for 975 Broadway owner LLC, gave a brief summary of where the project stood heading into the meeting.
The site is zoned under the Resnick's redevelopment area plan, which permits mixed-use buildings. The site has been the site of the Resnick's hardware store for years. There are a couple of residential units there and also a vacant piece of property. Last year, this property was designated as an area in need of redevelopment. The City Council, as I said, has adopted a redevelopment plan for this site. In terms of approvals that we're seeking tonight, we are seeking preliminary and final major site plan approval to construct a 10-story mixed-use building that will house 91 residential units and about 8,500 square feet of ground floor active uses, in other words, commercial uses.
Project engineer Joe Jaworski, a principal of Dynamic Engineering, project architect Francis Pizzati, and project traffic expert Joe Steiger, a principal at Dynamic Traffic LLC, all testified and took questions from residents at the over 3-hour meeting. Residents' issues ranged from parking to the dynamics of the pool on the roof. 3rd Ward Councilman Gary LaPalooza Sr., the only council member who voted against the project, asked Jaworski how efficient the 2 parking elevators in the garage would be.
What is the timing of, let's say, somebody was on the top floor, let's say their parking spot's on the 3rd floor. How long does it take to go from the ground floor to the 3rd floor?
That's a little bit out of my area. I can't give you an exact time. Mr. Steiger will go through that. I don't know if he has exact times, but very similar to a person elevator going 10 floors. So we don't have exact times for that. But
you know why I'm asking? Because if you have a line of cars waiting to get to the 2nd and 3rd floor, they're waiting for the elevator to come back down.
Right, which is why there's 2 elevators, and there is stacking inside the garage to get to the elevator, so that if there are people waiting to get out, they'll be inside the building and won't be outside.
Okay, so then my next question is, how far into the building is the elevator?
Well, there are 2 driveways. The driveway to the east, the elevator is probably about 40 to 50 feet inside, so it can accommodate about 3 cars each lane. And then the driveway to the west also connects into that. That has stacking for probably 6-7 cars inside the building. So,
Mary Curtis, who grew up near 46th Street and Broadway, said her parents were in tears at home based on the project's design, also inquiring about the pool.
Earlier, an entertainment center was mentioned with the pool that you failed to leave out. There was a pool plus an entertainment center. Does that mean like a clubhouse for these tenants that they can rent and have parties, DJs? You mentioned an entertainment center along with the pool.
I'm not aware of that. I know that originally we had a pool in a different location in the building, but we moved it up to the...
Additionally, Robert Englehart III expressed his dismay with the fact that this would be the final time the public would be able to speak out about the project.
I keep hearing about further studies, further consultants, and other things after the approval, but this was for final consideration in front of the board.
For site plan?
That's the only final consideration?
Site plan approval. And we do a very elaborate set of documentation to present to the board to get our project approved. And one of the requirements is not that you design a complete structure or you design a complete mechanical electrical system, because they don't get involved in that process at all. It then goes to the building department, and all this other work has to be in accordance with local building codes and other local ordinances. And until there is a project, that process doesn't take place. It's another stage in the development of a project.
So after this process, it will not go to public hearing then? For the studies that you say are coming, the public won't hear again?
No. The public...
Prior to the board's vote, some residents became irate since they felt their opinions fell on deaf ears.
People coming up here that are in tears because their neighborhood is just being ruined. People are upset. We asked for 5 stories.
Man, I don't wanna,
There was no compromising. No
but
compromising.
man.
We were the ones that were trying to compromise.
Excuse me.
No,
Excuse
no,
me.
I'm gonna talk. It's
You're
called
not- You're not gonna
greed.
talk over me,
Greed.
ma'am. You're
Thank
not gonna
you.
talk over me.
When it was all said and done, the board unanimously passed the measure. I'm John Hudis with the Hudson County View, the eye of the community.